Hi, my name is Nate McClendon. I'm the museum specialist here at Beach Museum of Art, and I'm incredibly honored to be selected as a spotlight teacher here at Kansas State University. My role here at Beach Museum is, while I don't have my own specific classes, I get to be a part of many others' classes where other professors bring their students in, bring their classes into the museum. I get to work with them, and sometimes teachers have me come out to their classes to work with them. So what kind of work do I actually do? I would say my main job is to open students' minds into different ways of thinking, different ways of looking at things. So regardless of what the topic might be, using art to develop critical thinking skills, and again, just to open up a perspective and being able to look at life in general. Not only do I get to do this with students at Kansas State University, but I get to do it with the greater Manhattan community in general, as we'll bring in members of the community to the museum, and I get to go through the same types of experiences, again, working on helping to open up perception and increase the way we think, the way that we see things that we see. One of the people that's had a huge impact on my teaching philosophy is jazz legend and pianist Herbie Hancock. As a young educator, I had asked him what he thought was the most important thing to do as a teacher, and he said, teach students to teach themselves. I asked myself, what does this really mean, to teach students to teach themselves? And what it taught me was that the most important thing was not the knowledge I had to offer, but how I could impact, how I could open, how I could influence, how I could motivate those that were learning. So that my number one priority became creating an environment in which they were ready to learn, where they were engaged, where they wanted to move to that next level. I saw myself more as a motivator or one who inspires, so that they would want to grab the information themselves. And one thing I have learned from this process is that the knowledge that we truly take in, the knowledge that really becomes a part of us, is the knowledge that we went out and attained for ourselves. It tends to go deeper when we do the work to attain it. And so that's always been a part of how I approached my teaching. For me, one of the ways that takes form is building connection with my students. It's usually the first and foremost important thing that I do before I even try to take them anywhere in terms of knowledge or attaining a skill, is really building that personal relationship. Knowledge doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's a communal event. There is a teacher, there is a learner, and there's the environment of learning and all the people that may encompass. I've always worked hard to make sure that I create the environment, but particularly the relationship with the students, so that they're prepared to learn and engage on their own. Another thing that I believe is that we as people have various strengths, and they're different for each of us. It's one of the things that makes us all different, not only our personalities, but our gifts, our strengths. And for me, I try to use the different abilities that I have. For example, I'm trained as a musician, so I might be doing a lecture on neurology or interpreting art in some way, but I might open up with music because that's a thing that I can do. Oftentimes, because my goal is to make a connection with people, I will use things that are personal to me. So I might play music that draws them in. I might share personal stories that also work to draw them in, but also create an atmosphere where they feel like they know me, which helps to open them up, mainly in efforts to let them know they can be who they are in the classroom as well. And once the student feels comfortable, learning takes on a different shape. It becomes much more easier, it becomes much more, authentic. My name is Nate McClendon, and I teach at K-State.